I'm actually getting really, really mad at this point. I got to be completely honest. Joe Biden is clearly, he is beyond the age of retirement. He needs to stop this. And the people around him need to stop propping him up. And these crony elites in the Democratic Party need to stop pushing this guy. He is done. He needs to retire. Look at this tweet from the other day. Joe Biden claimed tonight that he worked with Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping on the Paris Climate Accord, except the current Chinese president is Xi Jinping, and Deng Xiaoping left office in 92, has been dead for 23 years. Joe Biden, he's out of it. It's about time he just relaxed. You've earned it, man. For all the good, for all the bad, for all the disagreements, you did your thing. It's time to just go home and relax. That's not the only video coming out in the past couple days. It's getting really, really bad. I mean this. Deng Xiaoping, guy's been dead for 23 years, and now this. Biden is running for the Senate. I mean, look, he said it. Does this mean he's no longer running for for presidency? He's running for the Senate in South Carolina? Joe Biden, at an event, said that I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and if you don't like me, vote for the other Biden. What? Vote for the other Biden? What other Biden? What are you talking about? Do you mean another candidate? This dude is old. And so I've got these stories, but I really need to talk about the age of the frontrunners. Yes, Joe Biden is still polling very well. I don't believe it, never did, but they're calling him a frontrunner. Bernie Sanders. Doctor says that Bernie Sanders is hiding one key metric of his heart health from the public, which would dispel or fuel doubts about his long-term health after his October heart attack. And I did talk about this recently, that one report said Bernie Sanders has a 35% chance of having a heart attack again before November. It's substantive. They're both nearly 80 years old. Now, to Bernie's credit, he knows where he is. His brain seems to be working, to a certain degree, in that he's been, he's not demented like he's not becoming senile, but he does believe stupid things, right? So I'll give him credit that his brain works insofar as he has having sound function. I'll leave it there. I'll stop. I'm already getting in enough trouble. Let's read the story. Joe Biden says he's a candidate for U.S. Senate from the Washington Examiner. Former Vice President Joe Biden made another blunder. No, stop. It's not a blunder, man. Look, if Joe Biden was in Iowa and he's like, I'm here in New Hampshire. I mean Iowa. Yikes. It happens to the best of us. But Joe Biden does this almost every day. Then when he said, go vote for the other Biden, what, dude? Nah, he's not making blunders. Stop saying this. The dude is old. He needs to retire. During the South Carolina Democratic Party's First in the South dinner, Biden, who was reportedly greeted by the longest standing ovation in the dinner's history, made the error as he was concluding his remarks. You're the ones who sent Barack Obama the presidency, and I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm the Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden. Give me a look, though. Okay. Vote for the other Biden. I didn't know what that meant when people were tweeting it. I saw this and I'm like, what does he mean? Like, is his son running for office? Did he mean Bernie? Or did he mean the other candidate? Dude is not all there. Biden, who was a Delaware senator from 73 to 09, performed poorly in the first three contests for the Democratic nomination for president. His best performance so far was in Nevada, where he got second place with 19% of the vote. While addressing supporters at the conclusion of Nevada's caucuses, Biden took several shots at Bernie Sanders, who remains cemented in his frontrunner status in the Democratic field, and former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. I ain't a socialist, I ain't a plutocrat, I'm a Democrat, and proud of it, Biden said. And I promise you, I wasn't talking about running in the Democratic primary against him in 2012, he added, referring to former President Barack Obama. What are you talking about? They say, according to the RCP average, he still holds the lead in the upcoming primary. This is not true, man. Look, they're trying to claim, for whatever reason, the media is propping him up. Their polls are broken. They're just wrong. There's no way you can have kitty grabbing, slurring, teeth falling out, not knowing where he is, guy running for the Senate who tells you to vote for the other Biden. No, there's only one. Calm down, sir. This is a Wendy's drive-through. I don't know what you're talking about. The dude's clearly not ready. He's just not. He doesn't have the ability. But that brings me to Bernie Sanders, who also doesn't have the ability. Let's be real, man. You don't have to look. Let's stop pretending. Bernie Sanders is what, 78? He just had a heart attack. This would be the oldest. Trump is already the oldest president to get elected. And now we're going up another 10 years. I'm sorry, enough. Millennials, it's time to stand up and start running for office. Gen Xers, where are you at? Take responsibility for your community and your lives. We have become a country of me, and nothing else. And because everybody just wants what's best for them, they don't care about the betterment of the community. None of them are running for office. So we're left with boomers and the people from the greatest generation. People who actually have at least some community-minded perspective. Boomers aren't really doing it. Gen Xers aren't doing it. Millennials aren't really doing it. But we've got a couple. We do have a couple. But where are the great thought leaders that are, 45 at least? We don't have it. I mean, look, Andrew Yang was great, but this was the best we could do. Now we're betting all our chips on a 78-year-old socialist who just had a heart attack, or those who want to claim that the dude who doesn't know where he is and thinks he's running for the Senate, that's the guy we're going to pick. I mean, I get it. Even Trump is old. But Trump is running for re-election, so it's fine. Let him finish it out. But he was the oldest president. He was 70 when he enters office. That's my understanding. The Daily Mail said, a doctor has called on Bernie Sanders to release a key indicator of his heart health months after the presidential candidate suffering a heart attack on the campaign, months after he suffered a heart attack on the campaign trail. Sanders said he doesn't plan to divulge additional information about his health after releasing comprehensive medical records. The campaign waited until New Year's Eve to put out letters from 3 doctors attesting to his health, a move traditionally deployed to avoid scrutiny. But the 3 letters are not the same as medical records. The president of the American College of Cardiology, Richard Kovacs, tells NBC News that if Sanders released one simple indicator of his heart health, it could put an rest to lingering questions. The indicator, known as the left ventricular ejection fraction, is given to any patient after a heart attack and is a measure of how much blood volume the heart pushes out with an individual heartbeat. It can correlate with the risk of future cardiac events and mortality rates. Is it not obvious that the reason he is not putting this information out is because it's bad? So look, Bernie is talking normal, though I think his ideas are bad, but his heart is bad and Biden's brain is bad. Can we put this to rest and just let them go? Bernie really needs to step down, and so does Joe Biden, because they're not going to handle one of the most stressful jobs in the world. Look, Joe Biden doesn't have the mental acuity for it. But do you really think Bernie is gonna last long in one of the most stressful jobs after a heart attack? I'm not trying to be mean or ageist, but at a certain point, you're just too old. Look, man, I'm about to be 34. Do you think I'm going to go try and compete in top tier national or international skateboarding contests? No. There are some people who have done really well later on, but there's a limit to what you can do. We're not gods. We're regular people. We all have our limits. In sports, that limit is very soon. Most of the top tier skateboarders in their 20s. You're in your 30s. You're old. You want to get in politics? I'm sorry. You're in your 70s. You are too old. But hey, it's the best part. When you start getting older and you're not the best you could possibly be in, say, a sport, you still got your mind. And even that starts going. It does. So at a certain point, you need to recognize, well, we can build experience, and you can be a really good skateboarder in your 40s. That's true. You're probably not going to be competing at the highest levels that these younger guys are doing. And that's what we're seeing now. But the problem is we don't have the young people actually running. I mean, we got Buttigieg, but he is not the best of the best. He is like a B-tier Obama, or an Obama wannabe. The best we have in terms of, riling people up are the older generation, and they're too old. So we really just don't have it. Donald Trump's going to win re-election. I don't see how you can justify anything else. For all of his faults, the Democrats are propping up people who just don't have the ability. Now, look, Trump is obese, all right? It's a fact. It's going to get a lot of people angry. Yeah, well, too bad. He's on heart medication, and these are problems too. The only reason I would begrudgingly say that fine, he can, he's running, I get it, is because he already won and he ran before 70 and he hasn't had a heart attack. And although you can criticize the things he says, he's not having the brain problems that Joe Biden is. Criticize Trump all you want. He got elected, little too old for my taste, but you know what? He's running for re-election, fine. It's about time the younger generation stood up and actually took charge of this country and stopped passing the buck off to the geriatrics. These people are not well. But you know what? I don't blame Biden and Bernie. Who else they got? Look at Bloomberg. That dude's 78 as well? Is it the best we can do? Apparently so. And I think the main reason is too many people our age, too many people, Gen Xers, just want to order their pizza, sit around, play video games, watch TV, and say, hey, my life is good. I don't need those stressors. You go do it. That's the attitude. Instead of being the kind of country that says, what was the old saying? Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. We're no longer that country anymore. The Democratic Party is becoming overwhelmingly, what can my country do for me? That's what they are. And so that's why so many people are refusing to stand up and actually take charge and lead. It's not a part of their perspective. It's not a part of that mentality anymore. They're not here to make sure everyone does better. They're here to make sure they do better. That's why they're grifting on Twitter, and that's why they refuse to stand up to the insanity, and it's why they become a party of lunatics. I'm done. I got a couple more videos coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. I will see you shortly.